Joining us in the studio is a Nigerian TV host, filmmaker, and photographer. Yep. He's best known as the host of the popular Nigerian TV show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? On a lighter note, he's reputable for savage responses on social media. He knows how to give them bass. Welcome to the show, Frank Edoho.
Thank you, ladies.
We are so honored to have you here. Do you know how many years we're watching you and admiring you and feeling, when will I have an opportunity to do this kind of thing this man is doing? And you're looking so humble. You're not humble.
No, I'm cold, actually.
No,
I'm kidding. I came armed. Yeah. Thank you so much.
How have you been doing?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm spectacular. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is in the off season, so we're trying to get it back this year. Okay. But you know, broadcasters have many. They have multiple income revenue streams, so I do a lot of.
You get by.
Yeah, of course. If you're a broadcaster, you of course you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we do. So we'll come to you a bit later, but we have gists. Thank God you're here to gist with us and give us your own male perspective on some of these issues. Savagely, please.
About that savagery, I have no idea what you're talking about.
So we have time. We have
time.
Yeah, so we saw a viral video of a woman, I think Ghana origin, I'm not very sure now, who was abusing her husband, assaulting her husband, and then the child was behind the camera filming, and so she was, asking the child questions. Do you agree with what I'm doing? You hit the man. Is he lying? Is he saying the truth? Who do you prefer? And all of that. And I don't know the details of what was going on in that video, but what caught my attention, or what was concerning for me, was the fact that a child was involved in their squabble, and the child was witnessing what was going on. So you're standing there as a child, you're videoing your parents, it could be a man, it could be a woman, who is hitting the other person, abusing the other person, and you are recording, you are a part of the conversation. And I'm very worried for that child's mental health. And I'm bringing the story to the table, and I would like, Nima has more details of that story to quickly establish the gun inside that was happening there.
That happened. So, this family lives in Belgium, wife and husband and their daughter, and she's abusive of the man.
Allegedly.
So she allegedly. So allegedly, she says she made the child hold up a phone to prove in a confrontation of the man that he lied about allegations of abuse of him. And in the same video, she proceeds to abuse. She jack her for neck. When women jack her for neck, they know they assault her. They are confronting. I don't believe for her. I jack her for trousers. I jack her. So she jack her for neck. She didn't let go. She no greed for him, and then eventually, she's butting him, kicking him in all of that video, pushes him on the ground, and the man does nothing but apologize and deny the allegation. Their little daughter was seen in the video to add to the context of the gravity of what is happening. She's seen in the video saying to her mom that he's lying. You're lying, saying to the dad that you're lying, and saying to the mom he's lying, meaning that it's not the first time for her. Something, the parents have their issues, but the girl is a party in the marriage. She's the third party inside. And so he right in front of her, drags the man and falls him down, continues to kick, beat, harass him, assault him, and the man just didn't do nothing till the end of the video.
It did not end that when she had finished assaulting him, she became breathless. She was panting from beating and assaulting her husband.
Whoa. So the question here is, how do we, because I understand that relationships will definitely have disagreements. If you're married to somebody, you are coming from your own family with a different background to meet another person. Together you have clashes, you have quarrels from time to time, you have arguments from time to time. But how do we handle it in such a way that we're able to resolve the issue better? We're not involving our children in the issues, because it's not supposed to be their business, right? How do we, I would like you ladies to give me your thoughts on what you think we can do better.
Gentlemen.
So, couples fight. My marriage is 16 years this year. And so we're only two.
Veteran.
So we're only two in my marriage, myself and my husband. But once in a while, you experience your kids eavesdropping, walking in. Sometimes you have heated arguments and you don't even remember that one child is walking past. I feel very embarrassed that I then have to sit and try to mentally wash their minds off what they heard or see. And so you can only imagine how I feel watching this video. I watched it over and over. The girl wasn't walking past. She was an involved party. She sit down, hold the phone, and the mom was engaging the girl. Can you see he's lying? He's told Auntie Mary. He said, is that true? Did he not do that? Did you tell? And all she was addressing was, did you tell? You know?
This is supposed to be like a simple issue.
Did you tell her? Did you tell him? You did not read it. But you know, while she's doing that, she's saying, I will beat him. She's confirming. So this is a very clear case of an abusive woman. Yeah. And we most times shy from admitting how some women are wired like this. But you know, in the countries where there are more women's rights and all of that, when these kind of women live there, they get away with things like this. She deliberately put up that phone to prove her innocence to the allegation.
And she set it up for herself. So for me, go ahead. Okay. So for me, it's really sad to watch, especially, you know, watching a child being, as far as I'm concerned, socialized and indoctrinated into being a person that accepts or participates or encourages abuse between husband and wife. She's seen her father and her mother do it, and she will grow up thinking it's acceptable, unless by some, divine intervention she learns otherwise. It's also sad that, that video, there's this thing where when we talk about abuse in marriages, we tend to highlight the man's faults. There's something we don't like to talk about, which is provocation. Because for many of us, when you try to talk about provocation, they think that you are validating or encouraging or justifying abuse. But I'm just looking at that video. If you see, that man didn't do anything. As she pulled him, she insulted him in front of his child, called him names, dragged him, pushed him on the floor. He did not raise his hands. Imagine if at the very end he did. The story would be how he slapped her. But nobody would talk about all the things she had done to that point. She pushed him to the floor. And when she did, she started panting. Imagine if he had just held her hand really tight. That panting, she would say, is because he almost stopped the blood flow. And so sometimes, when we talk about these issues, let us be honest enough to also talk about provocation. People don't, we have conversations where we say there's no justification, there's no, yes, I hear you, but sometimes there is a reason why someone feels like you have put me in such a tight corner, I need to protect myself. So we're talking to women as well. If you decide to attack someone, sometimes be careful what that response will be. Not everyone will be, will be willing to do what that man did. And I can bet you that man did that for that child. He's looking at his child and thinking, I'm not even going to, that's one, and I'm not going to even do that. I'm thinking in my mind, I'm not even going to make my child see that. This is a child also in the conversation that has been part of this conversation for many years. This is not the first time it has happened. She's comfortable, because most children, when they find their families, their parents in that issue, in that situation,
they're confused.
They are sad. They are confused and they are crying. Mommy, what are you doing, Daddy? This is a child that obviously she's seen this too many times. And it's truly sad. I hope, because they're in a country where they're, developed country, that when they'll be able to take that child and sit with her and give her the proper therapy that she needs. And for me, that one, case for divorce, I don't even know why they're together.
Honestly. Amaka, what do you think?
So for me, first of all, I find it funny, as in the woman, I don't know what she was thinking. You're saying that someone accused you of something, then you're gathering the evidence.
That's how they are.
Against your own narcissist. Against your own self. What was she thinking? At some point, she said, off camera.
So I can deal with this
I can deal with this man. The way I want to deal with him. So, that's funny. And then, telling the child to even record that's on a different level. I understand that in Nigeria, like I always say, 99% of us need therapy. Because whether we like it or not, most of us grew up in homes where
these things were
happening, normal where parents would quarrel and have disagreements. I, for one, like my parents, they are basically classmates. So their love is out of this world. When you sit down with my dad and my mom, what they talk about is each other. They are so PDA and everything. And then when they want to quarrel like this, everything will scatter. The next week they continue again. So I grew up in a home where I see the wholesomeness of a relationship.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw complete package of a relationship. I know. Yes. Yes.
Even the relationship going up and down. Like, you need therapy too. Because it's joyful now, then it goes.
Exactly. You've said it all. Like I said, I always say that we need therapy in this country, and I just wish that, and it's so sad that we're not even tapping into that. You're not saying maybe you're sick or something. No, we need therapy. We're childhood trauma, the relationship with our mothers, everything, because our mothers can only give us what they know, where they're coming from. So sometimes you feel like they don't love you. They love you. So this woman now, what she has done is wrong, but then you can see that. I'm trying to look at it from a different perspective. That so what the husband did pained her. That means there's love there, because if you don't love person, the person to know could pain you. No, violence is wrong, right? We're not condoning violence, right? Yeah. We're not condoning violence. We're not condoning the fact that the child was there, right? But I'm also looking at it from a perspective that you find out that most marriages, when the feelings are dead, you don't want anymore. You don't even have time for reaction. Yeah. You're working like you're becoming different. Okay, so but sometimes when certain things pain you that you want to react like that, you say, your heart still there, they matter. But you can't say, oh, but you know, try. So you carry our matter go outside.
Yes, So say. So what I see is the woman doesn't have any respect for the man at all. It has gone to the point. I think the man is also disrespecting himself to stay in that toxic environment. That kind of thing. I'll just carry my suitcase and leave, because one of us is going to die very soon. It's either she succeeds in killing the man, or the man, after all that pent-up rage, you understand, then he just gets to the...
and 25 days.
Yeah. And so I feel, and also the temerity for the woman to give the child a phone, and the child, obviously that's not the first time, because the child is recording and doing live commentary. You understand? So she's so comfortable, she thinks it's the norm and everything. Definitely, like you said, that child is going to need therapy. You know, it's going to need a lot of therapy. So there are many, I know it's a foreign video, but there are many people that go through that in Nigeria. Some men, they just stay there. They say men love unconditionally. And some of them are found in a place where they were like, I mean, everybody's like this. I mean, they start having that Stockholm syndrome of saying many men are going through this and they are silent. Why should I be any different? So they tolerate it and they look at the children and say, okay, I don't want to leave the home, give the children a broken home. So, you know, but that man there, I mean, with all the fisticuffs the wife is engaged in with him, I feel he should have left 3 years earlier, because that woman is not going to stop. That woman wants, she wants a logical conclusion. She wants something to happen. I don't know where it stemmed from. I don't know what the origin of the animosity. So I don't even having it and comfortably involving your child. I mean, she doesn't know how to raise children. She doesn't have regard for anybody, her husband or even the family ecosystem. She just wants to destroy. And ironically, you see that woman might have be in an affair where she adores the ground that the partner works on. So so it's just.
So let me ask you this question, and I'll come to the ladies. How does love turn to hate? Because, you know, when you're starting the relationship, you are admiring everything about this particular person. And even when the disagreement starts coming, you still have at the back of your mind that I love this person, we'll find a way to work it through or work it out. But after a while, it now seems like you are seeing a different person totally. Two of you have become so different. How do we get to a point where love turns to hate? Is it possible, or is there any way we can avoid it getting to that level in a relationship?
Well, many years ago, I watched a movie called The Thin Line Between Love and Hate. That was Lynn Whitfield and Martin Lawrence. And I was just watching the movie. It was like a dark comedy. So I watched it and I was just, I was like, come on, there's no way that can happen, because they became very toxic to each other, especially the lady. The lady was like obsessed. Then they weren't even married, I think. So he wanted to leave the relationship. The lady said she's going to kill him or something like that. So there's a thin line between love and hate, because the pheromones you experience at the beginning of a relationship, it's all fireworks and everything. That cannot be maintained. You understand? So, and sometimes when you meet someone, maybe you have physical attraction for each other and mistake it for that, oh, this is going to happen for a long time. Then it doesn't happen. Then maybe you get hitched before the fireworks, subside. Then you be like, oh my goodness. You wake up one day and say, I'm stuck with this idiot. Or like,
is that the size of his nose?
They say, why does he eat like that? Jesus. You didn't know because you were in love. You were in love. You were head over heels in love with the other person. And I'm not talking only about from the woman, I'm talking the man too. As well. Yeah, the man as well. The man might have issues and gets tired easily of partners, and they get married, and the man will like, look at all these other beautiful women outside, and look at one lady I met, the way she treated me, So I think the mistake partners do, especially ones that are in long-term relationships, is that you see someone, I think they call it the 80-20% debacle. Yes, rule. Yeah, so you see someone, he's 80% of what you need, but because you've stayed with the person for a long time, the 80% is still there, but you don't see it because you're like, see finish now. Then you now see someone that has 20% of what this 80 doesn't have. Then you start getting attracted to that person. But you feel that person is complete because 80% is still here, but you have the best of both worlds. When that 80% gets tired and leaves, and you go up, you now say,
your eye go clean.
Jesus, this is 20%. Then you now start going, that's when everything, you now say, okay, I want to go back to that 80%.
Should I tell you how African men deal with it? You marry more women.
I'm looking for, you have 20, you have 40, you have 60.
Then he ends up with 480.
Let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Stay with us. Welcome back. We're still on this conversation, and Miriam had a comment.
So for me, I was listening to you, Frank, but I feel like what you described is maybe when love turns cold or a bit lukewarm. I feel that what causes love to turn to hate, like the exact opposite, is disrespect, the lack of regard for the other person. Because yes, you can fall in love with someone, be excited, and then wake up and realize, oh, he snores. Or I've seen one babe outside who is a bit hotter, But the one that turns to hate, that I can't stand to see you, is that you have been with someone who has no respect for you, no regard for what you want, what you deem important to you. They carry on their lives as if you don't matter. When people treat you small or that you're insignificant, you find yourself hating them because they don't see you. You don't matter. You don't, So you find people in marriages where I feel, I've made compromises for this marriage. I've done everything to make sure this marriage, and now it's my turn, and I'm not getting the same love and respect from that person. You would end up hating that person. So for me, that is what I see many times. You see, some people have been able to work through violence. I'm not condoning that. I'm not pushing for it, but because they've romanticized in such a way that, when it happens, he says he's sorry. If it was really about the violence, you should hate the person. But you find people, even in violent relationships, still saying that, but I love him or I love her.
He's a good man.
He's a good man, he's a good father. She's a good wife. She cooks, I think I call it the baddest, But then you find people that seem to have everything, but they can't stand each other. And some of the things they will express is, I wanted to do this, I said we should do this, I expressed myself this way, I've always just been disregarded. Nothing I say, nothing, my point of view is not important in this union. So from that's how I see.
Yeah, you had a comment. You wanted to
when Amaka was talking about therapy for children, I remembered something funny that happened when I was a teenager approaching my 20s. So my parents have their fights, but this is how it goes. I better go and sit down. It's not my father's house. People used to come and do phone calls because my parents were from the same village. My father would say, hey, because people were the first people to have phone. In my family, we are the first graduates, the first girl, and so they do those kind of battle. And they're having serious argument too. And everybody will go away. They will see them. My mom will bring, will you eat with me? And I will say, I just want to eat so I will not waste. And then, so I thought,
made up.
And we usually, our audience, we laugh and joke about it. We say, see the way your mama they do and your papa they do. We laugh about it. So I went to my auntie's house, my late auntie, and the husband I had, they were throwing daggers, and I was laughing. That was my therapy. The way my uncle turned and looked, will you shut up? Are you silly? I was like,
this is different.
Mommy, people have been pretending. I saw a fight today. I told him about his brother. I said, the thing I see today. I said, oh, you don't know that fight we are fighting, me and your mom. That's the way we signed up to fight our fight. We're actually having serious fights. When I say to her that, I better go, it will pain her. So that's our serious fight. But that's the way we signed up to do it in your presence. So you now go person house, you go open your teeth, and they don't tell you now. That's how I learned how fights happen. So this child, children do really need therapy. All of us need.
We need therapy. So for me, I think many people are not intentional with how they want their family to look before getting into marriage. You know how they rush us into marriage. You finish school, what's the next thing? Get a job. What's the next thing? A man comes to whisk you away. You have not really sat down to process, to visualize the kind of home that you want. It could be you wanted to replicate your kind of home. Maybe you came from a very loving home. You saw how your mother was always being pampered by your father and all of that. And you want to replicate that. Or you saw the opposite and you want to avoid that. So we really do not have enough time to process this sort of. So when we are dating, the questions we ask are not irrelevant things. Can you buy me this? Can you do this? We're not asking the core questions. We're not asking about family issues. We're not asking our partners, what's your fight language? How do you like to resolve issues? If I annoy you today, we don't have those deep conversations. No. We focus on if I in teeth, clean, get accent, and all of that. And then we get in and we realize that you are coming from a different place, I'm coming from a different place, and we find it difficult to now resolve issues. So for some people who are fortunate, I like to say I was fortunate because I saw what I didn't want in my home growing up. And at that age, I think from the age of 16, I wanted to get married. Not because I like man, no. I just wanted to run away from that environment. I wanted a safe haven, right? And in my head, I already knew the kind of home I did not want to have. So when I met my boyfriend in school and we started talking marriage and all of that, and I also observed his home, and in my head, I'm like, how do we do it in such a way that I give my children a good example? And we talked about it while we're dating. That arguments will come, we will fight, but you will not disrespect me in front of the children. You will not raise your voice in front of the children. Now, there's also a flip side to it. Now, my kids have never seen us fight. They see us argue. All of us argue in the house. All of us have loud voices. Everybody's arguing, quoting dictionary. We are doing that, right? But they've really never seen us fight. And I'm worried that they may go out there and think like you now went to go and laugh at somebody. Think that life is just like that, where there are no arguments. Would they be able to handle issues when it comes up? Because they've really never seen an example of us fight and make up. And that's a worry for me. What do you have to say about it?
Well, you don't have to fight for them to know that, this world, in marriages, there are fights, and show them how to resolve it, because every fight has a different resolution method. You don't know, it depends on what you are fighting about. Are you fighting about what? Money? Are you fighting about someone not being accountable? What exactly are you fighting about? And there's no, and I don't think necessarily, I feel that the sanity of your home will even help them to know, like you did, the home that they don't want.
Okay.
You understand? They'll be like, I saw my mom and dad, I never saw them, quarrel. That can affect a child more positively than you saying that, oh, they've not seen us fighting, so you worry to know how, they will not know how to
But don't you think you should sort of prepare them?
No,
This is what happens for kids like that. They won't tell the sign when they see it in someone who is pretentious.
Okay.
Someone who carries a perfect image.
Yeah.
So they've never seen it. They don't know how to spot it. The person can just come and, okay, your mommy loves your daddy. He give you a nice picture till the day you enter.
Yeah.
So how... I think a balance of it is maybe in a movie you explain it or something. On
the flip side, people that quarrel and in front of their children, the children still don't have any idea how to solve issues.
Or even how to spot it.
Hold
on a bit. Let me take this call and I'll come to you. Jelilat from Kaduna. Good morning, Jelilat.
I hope it's not my cousin.
Are you there? It's your cousin in Kaduna.
Jelly.
It's your cousin in Catering.
Hello, Jelilat.
Are you Nima's cousin?
Are you Nima's cousin? Good morning, we can hear you.
I'm a big admirer of Nima, actually. I admire her so much.
Ah,
Because she's the cousin.
Not this, that.
Nothing. So I just wanted to say, this is the first time I'm calling, but I'm
welcome to the show.
on the show. Thank you. So I just wanted to say that
We can barely hear you. It's not loud.
Yeah,
The studio.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, studio, please.
That's what they say.
Okay, so I was saying that hurt people, and that children who grow up in these kind of circumstances are more likely to grow up and continue the cycle of what they have experienced as in their homes. And even when you said they either grow up to want to replicate the love they experience or grow up to want to avoid it. Unfortunately, even in the process of avoiding to replicate that, they might end up replicating it.
True.
Because there's so much anxiety you grow up with, and you're scared to ruin your relationship, you're scared to ruin the marriage, but in the process you've probably taken the wrong steps in doing so, because you don't have a good example of what an ideal and beautiful, healthy marriage or relationship should look like. And so because of that, you just rummaging in the dark and just throwing different things to the wall and see what sticks. And unfortunately, even that in itself can be a problem. And so, unfortunately, a lot of people, like you said, grow up in these kind of situations. And then that's what I always have, hide my ID situations on social media, hide my ID, because this is the product of people from those kind of relationships. And when they grow up, they don't know what to do, and they're just trying and seeing how to navigate and make it work. Thank you.
Thank you, Jelilat.
Yeah, I was going to say that on the average, right, most people tend to want or act the way things were done from where they're from. Your environment shapes you, your family. But there are people like you, giving you as an example now, that you saw what you went through in your family and decided this is not what I wanted. Not many people think that way. There are some people, it's not common for people to be that way. So it's a rare thing. So it's a blessing even, to find yourself in a situation and decide, while in it, and being so young, that this is not what I want for myself. It's not common. So don't even think that that's what everybody is going through. So it is rare. In that is a blessing in itself. So for me, where your peace should come with your children is they will do what many people would averagely do, which is want what they see in their home. So this does not look like how we discuss in my home. This does not look like how we handle issues in my home. Why would I want to be like that? Many people, they'll tell you want to marry men like their fathers, or sons like you want to marry women like their mothers. So it's what we're used to. But having said that, beyond marriage, even for friendships, I remember, I was talking to someone that I respect, and we're just talking about some issues. And he said to me that because of the way you are, Miriam, you show up in friendships assuming people are like you, that they have the same values like you. That the word friendship is the same word for them as well. That, what it encapsulates, that's what it does for them. It's not. As an adult, you have to now go into the world with your eyes open. You have to realize that there are different kinds of people with different kinds of value. You need to take your time before you make the commitment. You need to understand that the values you have may not be the value. Yes. And you come to appreciate that. But, you know, I heard that, but I was saying that, you know, with marriage, you keep saying, oh, many people don't sit down and discuss beyond the physical what they want. When I sit down, I remember what I thought of at 21. I was a foolish human being compared to who I am today. The things that were important to me, you know, because we are young. That's what youthfulness, youthfulness is about. How many 21-year-olds are thinking, you see, the man I want to marry, I want him to be ambitious, I want him to work hard. And when we sit down to have a conversation concerning this, let us discuss it. How many 21-year, how many 30-year-olds?
That's what you
and sometimes the things that happen, even you start getting the experience of how to handle it in the issue. So please give these young people, cut them some slack. But the general thing we need to say is, as we always say at this table, hope that whoever it is you're with is a kind person.
Yes. Let me take this call and I come to Amaka. We have a call on the line. Good morning.
Good morning. This is Beauty.
Good morning.
I just want to, contribute to this topic. Now, the thing is, I would say for the mother, this is not the best way to bring up your child. As couples, we all have our differences, and we are bound to have conflict. But what matters most is how you handle the conflict. Now, for me and myself, my husband is big polygamous home. And part of his mind, he already knew that he doesn't want to have a polygamous home. And even we discussed about this. So for me, myself, I told him, one thing I know that will make me hate someone is if you tell lies. So we already have this understanding of ourselves. Now, even in the home, we have been married for 18 years now. Even in the home, we do have conflict. When we have conflict, the way we resolve it, our children, especially my daughter that is 14, and the one that is 14, we kind of understand it. Now, when we have conflict, we kind of talk quietly, but there's this silent treatment we give ourselves, and our children understand.
Silent treatment.
But the truth of it all is that we have an understanding that each time we have conflict, we don't need to communicate with kids. Now, on a particular day, my husband was leaving, and then we had to take him with understanding. This is this silent treatment. And my daughter was like, let's see if that is good.
It's really low in the studio. I'm struggling to hear. I'm sorry we have to let you go, Amaka.
Yes. Okay, so, I love how, we all say communication is key to resolving issues in marriages and stuff. So please, Frank, can you help us answer this question? So why is it that they say communication is great now in handling frictions and issues in marriages?
Yes.
You have to sit down and talk, they talk and everything. I beg, why is that the women, when they now ask them 10 times, first time, second time, 10 times, maybe what is wrong? Not.
Is it here we should be asking? You should be asking us.
So how do this communication happen when the person says nothing? Because I know you're not a wizard. I know you don't fly at night. I know that.
That's the thing. That's the
I know that you want to be a millionaire.
You know,
but you don't to see vision.
You know, one day I was on Twitter and I saw one lady posted. I said, I need a man. I need him to be tall. I need him to be handsome. I need him to be tolerant. I need him to be patient. I need him to be kind, even if I am not. You understand? Then, I need him to ignore all my shenanigans, but take care of his. I need it. So very many things. So when she listed it at the end, she now said, where can I find this man? One guy now tweeted at her and said, he is seated at the right hand of God, the Father Almighty.
That's the only man.
You understand? So, speaking about communication, that thing, I don't know the answer to that. It's if I knew, that means I could solve cancer. Because that is the thing. Women are wired differently. So, the woman thinks that all men are clairvoyant, that they will look at them and know that something is wrong.
You should.
No. We know something is wrong. That's why. No, you're supposed to be. That's why the question ensues. We are caring. That's why the question ensues. What's wrong? Now, it might be a spectrum of you left the toilet seat.
Honestly.
To stop using my toothbrush, or even Nothing. You have not even showed care to me in the meanwhile.
Okay, what if he showed you care?
So the thing is very.
Please, let me interrupt
as I'm talking now, I'm even stressed out because it is baffling. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this.
Let them help you.
So that when we put it in specifics, because just this week, me and my husband have been cooking. You know, we are fasting. I cook iftar, I cook sahur. I'm up at 2 a.m., finish praying. He's sleeping. And in my house,
as he should.
It's a problem.
Yeah, but we should be praying together. But he's tired. I understand that.
Okay.
And then he just gets up, eats his food, leaves his plate, and goes back to either take his bath, get ready for work, or if it's a weekend, sleep again. So one morning, I now asked him. I said, "Take, iron this dress for me." And he was like, "It's a weekend. I'm tired. I'll do it later." And then I started to ask him, "When do I get pampered in the marriage?" Now I've given you cue. I've said iron. I have given
Small
you
message.
Since you know, see the one where you go
Yes,
carry, I give you your
small
the one
message.
You go carry. He now started looking at me as if I was had horns and tail and everything, like as if I changed to something else. And I was like, he didn't get the message. He said,
See, okay.
he kept saying I didn't communicate.
Can I just
Why
add
don't
something?
you just give him the direct message? Why
gave
you
him
want to
the
give
thoughts.
you want to give
Do it
this thing
right
that you
now.
but when you're sending an email to a staff that did this thing, you are going to list everything. You say this. You say
You're not babies.
The
You want us
staff,
to baby you.
the staff does. See, first of all, I want to say this, but first I want to make a small apology to Mr. Longe because I heard what you said, and your own is even a serious matter. I have acted that way just because I woke up and I just did not feel the love.
Exactly.
I didn't feel it
In the atmosphere.
the atmosphere.
okay, you didn't feel the
I didn't feel it in the atmosphere.
Can
and
only
then
be one thing.
And then I will look at him and he does not, and
He
like,
does not see.
what's wrong? And I'm saying, I don't know. And then he will not ask me the second time and the third time. He will just walk away.
What I am saying,
That has caused problems in my
what
house.
I am saying is traits of Ogbanje somehow. Because see, this is the thing we all battle with.
Yeah, every man actually.
Why don't you? Okay, will it kill you? Look, will it kill for you to say, my husband? I'm not feeling.
But you cannot
You are not
By
a
the
baby.
time
You
we
say what?
have
You are
our,
not a baby.
we have a different
by the
hormone
time
power.
I
Yes.
explain
You
it,
say what?
Thank
We
you.
have a different hormone
I was
power.
going
Okay,
there.
just like you have a different approach in communicating, we have a different approach in understanding. So,
That's not what
We need to go to marriage
What
school.
is not what-
Our
who told
husbands
you?
are supposed to be Odogu Parara. That's what they told us. And then we entered.
Let's take this call and I'll come back to Frank. I have questions for you because I don't understand you. You're not a baby. We shouldn't be baby.
and you're an
You should know
ally.
something.
You're a he for she.
We
So
have a caller on the
answer.
line.
now I'm
Good
the
morning.
representation of all your partners. Oh, I go suffer today. 4 for the price of
Hello, are
one.
you there?
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Kemi is my name. I'm calling from Abuja.
Good morning,
First time
Kemi.
of calling.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I want to greet you ladies and your guests, your August guest in March. It's good to see you, Frank. I want to be a millionaire.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, two things. You said the impact of communication cannot be overrated or underrated in marriage. But unfortunately, the generation that's above 40 now, close to 30, above 50, we don't have the knowledge when we are getting married there. The trend was you finish your university because your mom's friend, her daughter, the son, immediately after graduation, got a good job, can start a business, you go into marriage.
Can you
That
ladies
was the
hear?
trend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Struggling
it is
to hear.
Now that
I'm sorry, we have to let go of this call. I'm struggling to hear. Frank,
Yes.
I wish you were going to stay with us to the end.
To the
because
end.
I wanted to come for you.
I'm happy I'm not going to stay till the end. The way things are going.
A baby. Want to observe your wife and observe the moods. Yes. You know that week 1 is a different mood. Ovulation week is a different mood. Menstruation week is a different mood. Once we say nothing, keep asking us till we say it.
Exactly.
It's one of those
things. Give up after the third ask.
Unfortunately. Okay, just give me a few lines.
And then why you people understanding of that at the beginning when you are toasting the babe? You don't understand.
Yeah, but you understood. You were giving us direct when we started.
No.
Then now, when you now relax, you say, after 3 months, you should understand me now.
Study
From beginning, you should, yes, and everything.
Smart gentleman that is ambitious and doing so well. What would you understand after 3 months?
Let me tell you, show me the man that has understood his partner from beginning to end. So point to that man. Point to that man.
Let's find out what has been happening with you. We hear you're getting into a new reality show. You're going to be anchoring a new one.
New reality show.
Yeah. Talk to us about it.
There's a reality show called Ground Zero. It's done by my friend, and he just wanted me to do the voiceover thing for him, narration. But I said, hey, why don't you have a presenter? Just put a presenter there and I'll do the narration. And the guy now said, no, they don't have a presenter. I said, all right, you know what? I'll just do it for you. So it's throwing 2 people, male, female, onto the streets with absolutely nothing, and they now start hustling and trying to do businesses and grow. The first person that reaches 1 million will get, will win 5 million. So that's the project I'm doing. I think it's a labor of love because there's no payment there, but I love it because I love the experiment and it's nice. Yes.
Yeah. So we'll take a short break now. We may keep you till the end. Let me think about it because we have many questions to ask you. But we'll decide.
No. I think I'd rather go now.
No. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. So I'm trying to be very nice here, right? I'm trying my best. But I've seen that men don't take their time to understand women. And I want to blame it on patriarchy. Because growing up as a girl, you are raised, Frank, you are raised to cater to a man. You are the girl. Is this how you're going to behave in your husband's house? You must do this like this, you must do that. Men don't have that. So when they get into the relationship, after that love has, washed away a little, they go back to being, I am the man. Why do I need to pay extra attention to you? Do you think that is one of the issues why many men don't understand their wives? Because I think we are easy. We have complex.
No, don't think we are easy.
We are easy. We have complexity, but we are pretty easy.
Okay, let me tell you something. I'll give you an example. So my sister was telling me about her friend. There was one friend of hers that wanted to go for a concert. She didn't tell her husband. Okay. So my sister told her, said, hey, you didn't tell your husband you're going for a concert and we are going to leave in an hour. He said, it's not possible. The woman's, you know what the woman said? Watch and learn.
I like it.
So she goes to the husband. I said, babe, give me money. I want to go for a concert. Now I said, I want to go for a concert. I should give you money now. The concert, when is it? He says in an hour. Oh, so you decided to go for a concert. 1 hour. You're just telling me 1 hour. It can never happen. The man goes into fury. Said, look, you will not. You mean 1 hour? That means you planned this. You planned it. There's no concert for you. Forget it. This. The woman looked at her husband and said, no concert for me. He said, yes, no concert for you. She said, please, I'm coming. Went to tell my sister. My sister, carry your problem and go. My husband says, no concert for me. Start going. I'm cooking for him. Husband, what do you want to eat? Let's choose movie, let's watch. I'm going to cook you this. I'm going to do this. No, this thing. He said, my sister said, okay, he said, be going. You are still here. No, I want to be with my husband. And everything. The man was just looking at her. She was going about. The man is looking at her. Come first. This concert, who is performing? No, why are you still talking about the concert? I want to make food for my husband, my odogu. Hey, this guy, bam. At the end, The man gave both of them money to go for the concert. What is the moral of the story?
Okay.
The problem is this, and I don't want you people to think I'm misogynist or this. The thing is that marriage, I'm sorry, it lies more in the hands of the woman because you guys know how to nurture. But the problem is you only nurture your children. You don't nurture your husband. He's a big kid.
Hey, we are a big baby.
No, now,
I'm not tired for this.
But you see,
he's a big kid. He's not my kid. I only have 2 children.
No.
He's his mother's child.
You have the motherly instincts in your DNA. But you don't use it. You restrict it to only your children. When your life partner is right there.
To be a partner, not be a child.
No.
Because when we use, the women that use those motherly instincts
these babies
fall out of being wives. They keep them as mothers, and then they go start chasing side chicks.
Yes.
Who are not motherly anyway.
That is by a quirk of fate. We're talking about general stuff. We're not talking about extreme cases. There is no man on this planet that a woman would nurture in such a way. Let him go and look for the side chick. He will tuck his tail between his legs and come back home.
But what if I'm not there when he comes back?
You say,
but I want to ask about these big babies. Is it Nigerian?
I'm not talking about babies that were mollycoddled by their mothers.
No, that's I know. I mean the context that you've described it. But I would like to know, are these just Nigerian babies? Or are all men everywhere? Even those Oyibo men we see in Hollywood that do things for their women.
It's a global. See, let me tell you something. A man doesn't need your love. He needs respect. He doesn't need your love. Love your children, but when you when you respect a man,
people may need respect.
No. The thing is, we are giving different duties. You guys are saying what I'm doing to you, you must do to me the same way. It doesn't work because we are 2 different genders. So you are nurturing. Nurture. Then you see any man. If you stoop for any man, you find out, the man will find out later in the year, you find out that, you know what, this woman has been controlling me.
But Frank,
well, how do you not say man
let me hear from Amaka.
Because I just feel like for me, as in it works for me, is to say the opposite of what I want to do. Right? Okay. Yes. Because I just think that men have this default setting of want to be in charge. So I've learned that. So that concert thing now, I'll just mention to you that, there's a concert showing and everything. But no, I don't think this concert, it'll be nice to go, but no. Why do I want to go for that concert? I think, then I'll give you the benefits of why the concert is good and all the nice things. But I just say, no, I think we should do, you will not be the one, now, the man will not be the one not saying that, no, but I think you should go, because it's in their DNA to want to be in control, to want to tell you consciously what to do. Yes. So you make them feel like control. So you already know what you want to do. Put the ball in their courts.
Let them decide.
And if they see it, and then also act that you're not interested. You want to go to Lagos. You say, hey, you want to go to Abuja. That Lagos will not be nice. They'll tell you, no, don't go to that Abuja. Go to Lagos. You end up going to
they
Lagos.
Take charge.
But how do you have to take charge? So you have to figure out what works and how to talk to your man.
If you use that system, you might end up going to...
But even the nurturing that you said, how do you nurture a man that says, I'm not your baby? See, your baby's there. I'm the man
who thinks of
this house.
No, I don't think any man, when you nurture them, I'm not talking about, hey, eat your food. Hey, carry that thing after you. No, that's not nurturing.
No.
That's not nurturing. I'm talking about nurturing. You know your man now.
Yes.
You people have been blessed with the skill of knowing a man and knowing the button to press. You people know it, but you are ignoring. You are pressing every button except that button. That's the problem.
Some women don't know the button.
No, of course. Some women don't know the button. That means you have not. That means the women that don't know the button are indifferent to their husband. I'm sorry. You are not in sync. Like you are not.
Some men don't like that nurturing.
So the men that don't know their wife's love language, they are also indifferent.
Yeah.
Because men are dysfunctional pianos. You go press button tire.
But
you know when we're young.
Dysfunctional.
Yeah, they tell us
button is not working.
There's a way to a man's heart. I was raised to cater to my husband. I'm from a Muslim home. We're raised to look forward to our marriages, how to make it work, how to cater to our husbands. I cater to my husband. I say it proudly. I still do. it's something I enjoy because I cater to my dad.
Now, is he appreciative of it?
Of course, he's
because
used to it.
as a Muslim, he might think it is right.
Frank, I don't know whether it's appreciative because I hope he's watching and his friends are.
You see?
But he's used to it.
You see, the man don't collect 3 bullets.
No, so my dad had 4 girls, and we were always rushing to cater to him. And so I got married, and I was just happy. I still love it. But my love language is to cater to my husband.
Yeah, okay. I like being catered to.
So he just sits down, gets pampered. He wants to eat fruit, I'm cutting it. That's the kind of...
Now you're complaining.
But appreciation a question. He asked me whether he appreciate. I say he used to ram. If you don't appreciate him, I'm clear about
it's just what he knows.
But we were raised that if your husband is not in the mood, you give him time. First of all, let him eat. If a man comes, not immediately comes, you say, come and ask him. You wait. Maybe when he has slept and
time it.
But you see all those formulas they gave us has failed.
Time is
if
going.
you give him food, time is going, you give him food, he should eat. He will tell you he's not ready. I don't want to have that conversation right now. You'll be a good wife, you wait for him to wake up.
Do you wake him in the middle of the night?
They say wake him at night. They've given us all those tricks. Those are our mothers, all those codes.
And that was when we didn't used to go to work. We didn't have to wake up early, get the children ready for school and go to work.
Exactly.
There's no time.
A short break, ladies.
Which one?
We'll come back to this conversation. It's not ending. Stay with us. Welcome back. We had an interesting conversation with you. I wish we could just go on and on and on because we still want to poke into some things. But let me ask you about your relationship. I know you're married to a very beautiful woman who's running her own business. Was it love at first sight this time?
Yes, it was.
Huh?
It was.
Okay.
It was love at first sight. The thing is that, it's my second marriage, so you can't, you see, love is inexplicable. You cannot understand how it creeps up on you.
Okay.
You understand? You need that first contact. Otherwise, you just think it's just a run-of-the-mill relationship. There must be something that makes you feel differently about a person, and you can't take a person and start looking for that thing. That thing will just be right from the start. You just hit you. Not hit you to the point that you
have like a knowing.
Yeah. You'll be like,
something there.
Then it starts unraveling till it gets. Yeah.
How did they do, man? Is it, because we have butterflies. There's a connection you feel, and then you keep looking forward to maybe a conversation, a call or an outing with that person. But how did they do, man? Is it the same?
No, it just hits us. It's just
how
like...
they take hits?
There's some men that will say a woman and say, that's my wife.
Yeah. That's a feeling. Yeah, you just see it and you just see it and you will know. It's not like your heart starts thumping and everything. It's just something people you can do a double take, like you just see someone and that look like and move and look again. You're looking.
The soul connects.
Yeah. Then now when you now go and talk, you understand, it now unravels more. You'll be like, there's something here and everything. And
So how has the marriage been so far?
Marriage is, I think the mistake people make with marriage is that they think marriage is a switch. So when you're courting, everything will be solved when you marry. Because now this is marriage now. Then the man might be entitled and say, after all, I've married you now, what is it? And the woman will be like, I'm not getting what I need because you have cut her off from the supply of the people that swoon when they see her. Women are if you told a woman, your wife, that she's beautiful at noon, that subscription expires around 6 in the evening. So you have to, So you have to.
They allowed it.
No, it's true. You're like that. See, they're laughing.
No, what I'm saying is,
so you'll be like, I told you. The man is like, I told you before. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. But you say, I need to be told because that is how
So your wife, beautiful woman, and also
I'm not so bad looking myself.
You're good. Not. I mean, we know you. We know you, so you are not seeing. Many people don't know your wife. I just happen to also follow her huge interior business. So this is. I'm talking about her beauty and the fact that the sort of business that she does. You're talking about giving compliments. She goes out. She meets some big clients, you know.
Yes, yes.
How has that, because we've seen people struggle, especially with spouses in media, where you get lots of attention. How do you think that has played for you in your marriage, the attention you get from being in media, and the sort of clientele that she gets to meet, given also her looks, because we have to mention those looks.
Well, yeah, what I feel is that I give you wings to fly so that I know your true behavior. I'm not the person that will say, oh, don't do this, or
trying to cage
and everything. I want to see everything in living color. And that will make me understand that, oh, okay, because loyalty can't be tested during good times. Yeah, it can't. So, so how do you know that someone is loyal? Leave them to do what they want to do, and you see. But I make sure that my part is covered. I provide support, you know, like everybody knows I learned interior design, photography because of her. Because
that's sweet.
I learned it like for 4 years. And she was yabbing me, why are you even learning? Why are you even learning? Why are you even learning? And I said, don't worry, I'll show you, you know. Then I now, you know, started, you know, doing interior design. Like, let me show you some of the pictures. Just swipe. So I take pictures like this.
Wow, that's really good. That's amazing.
So I make sure that I, you know, I do it so that anything that happens, I'll be like, you know what? I'm a good guy. So I won't start searching internally and finding, did I do this? Did I? So when I see that something is wrong, I'm not even going to, I'll just say, you know what, I'm a good man. And
you are.
I'm not going to be here.
Amaka, final question, so we have to go.
Not necessarily a question, it's just about, you know, partnership, especially when couples have a common goal.
Yes.
Because most times I just feel that people are going in different directions, but when you have a common goal, now that you guys have a common goal, how has that helped the relationship? Because people have the things to talk about, shared ideas, and you're building
shared
together.
interest.
Yes, shared interest. Now, the thing is that some couples don't know. See, what your husband likes, you must try and like some. And what your wife, like maybe it's her hobby or her passion and everything, you should get into it. Like, I remember years ago, she used to watch the cookery channel. She would watch it. I hated it. So,
which one?
So I just come. She watch it. That's yes. She'll be watching it and say, "Oh, this suits me. This suits me." So me, I just said, you know what? I have to get into this. So I'll just sit there. I'll be like, why are they doing shrimps like this? Is this? And so I started showing interest. She said, you have not seen anything. I said, hey. Meanwhile, inside I'm dying. Let NEPA just take lights. Just take lights so that I can go. You understand? So, but I started getting into even interior design. I did enough photography for me to know how to do interior design myself. Yeah, because one day we went to an interior show. So when we went inside, there was one side table that was kept. I looked at the side table. I looked at her. She was looking at the side table. She was looking. She said, "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?" I said, "Yes." I went. I just put it there. She said, "You put it in the right." I said, "Yeah." Now you know I've no, because I learned. Yeah. I just say, hey, yeah.
Thank you so much, Frank Edoho, for joining us.
Of you.
Yeah. Not the savage. You know, giving it to them back to back on social media.
Well,
but it's good too.
If all broadcasters used to do that,
people would have stopped.
People would have stopped messing with people in general. But I'm the lone voice in the wilderness.
We'll join you soon.
And
Kate Henshaw is with you.
Oh,
so
Kate
there are
Henshaw.
two voices.
Kate Henshaw, then we have a couple. Then Daddy Freeze, although Daddy Freeze.
But we gotta go. That's all we can take on today's show. We'll see you again tomorrow. Your View Pigeon, stay tuned 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you, Frank Edoho.
Thank you very much.
It's been a beautiful show. We have to go. Bye-bye.